Welcome, everyone, to the 38th discussion of the smart world around us, brought to you by Smart EDU Hub. Today, we're doing a deep dive into a really important article titled Education, a Key Concept for E-Administration.
Yes, it's a fascinating piece. It tackles a problem we see all over, really huge investments in digital platforms, but then, well, citizens just aren't using them.
Exactly. And the researcher, Catalin Vrabi,
That's the pronunciation, yes.
like Catalin Vrabi, he sets out to see if IT and communication education levels in Romanian counties, all 41 of them, actually predict how successful e-administration is locally.
And the core finding is kind of counterintuitive, isn't it? It suggests we need intelligent citizens before we pour millions into the technology itself.
That's the key point. Sophisticated platforms are great, but pretty useless if people, citizens, and businesses don't actually trust them.
Or even understand how to use them properly. Without that trust and understanding, that digital literacy, the investment just doesn't pay off.
Okay, so let's unpack this a bit. How exactly did the study go about measuring this IT education level across the counties? What were the metrics?
Well, they focused on two main components, two key indicators of access, really.
Okay.
The first was ECDL coverage. That's the European Computer Driving License.
Ah, the ECDL, right. Why was that so central?
It's significant because it's actually legislated in Romania for training civil servants. So it's seen as kind of the official engine for building digital skills, within the government machine itself.
I see. So it's a standardized measure.
Exactly. Standardized, measurable access to basic IT skills. And they looked at over 500 ECDL centers. The data, you can see hints of it in Table 1 in the article, shows a pretty stark divide.
Uneven distribution.
Very uneven. You've got about almost 20% of counties with very good coverage, meaning, not many people per center, easy access.
Okay.
But then almost 30%, nearly a third, fall into the very low category. So right away, you see a big gap in opportunity there.
And I imagine that gap probably gets wider when you look at higher education.
Absolutely. That was the second component they measured, university coverage. And the thing is, not all Romanian counties even have a university center. Only 22 out of the 41 got.
Wow, only about half.
Yeah, and this creates an even steeper digital divide. The study found, looking at Table 2, that over half the counties, 56%, were graded very low based on the ratio of people to university centers.
So for many people, especially maybe older generations, the local infrastructure just isn't there to develop those skills easily.
Precisely.
Okay, so we have this fragmented educational picture. What does that then mean for actually implementing e-governance? How are the counties doing on that front?
Well, this connects back to some previous research Vrabi did on the status of e-government in municipalities. If you look at Table 3 in the article, you'll see most counties, almost two-thirds, 65% or so, were rated as satisfactory.
Satisfactory. So the systems are there, maybe, but not fully firing.
That's a good way to put it. They exist, but they're clearly underutilized or maybe not integrated properly. Only two counties, Sibiu and Arad, actually hit the very good mark. Interestingly, none were rated very low.
Okay, so satisfactory is the norm. When you put the education data next to this eGov data, what's the big picture?
The connection is, well, it's strong. Very strong and direct. The education levels seem to map very closely to the e-government development levels.
Really? So higher education access generally means better e-government performance?
Generally, yes. There are a couple of exceptions, outliers like IASI, Cluj, Salaj, where eGov is maybe a bit better than the education scores alone might predict.
Okay, why would that be? Local factors.
Could be. Maybe specific regional economic drivers, strong local IT industries, perhaps unusually strong political will in those places. But those few exceptions don't really change the overall pattern.
The rule still holds.
The rule holds. The data strongly suggests IT education is, fundamentally responsible for how well e-government develops at the local level.
And here's where it gets really interesting, isn't it? It's not just about citizens needing the skills to click the right buttons.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's also crucially about the public managers, the civil servants running the systems. They don't need to be programmers, obviously.
No.
But they need enough understanding, a kind of common language, to talk effectively with the IT specialists to actually define what their institutions need from the technology.
Right, so they can specify the requirements properly.
Precisely. Otherwise, you end up with systems that don't actually meet the real-world needs of the administration or the public.
So the final takeaway here, maybe for you listening, is pretty clear then.
I think so. It seems before pouring huge sums into the shiny tech platforms, the first investment really needs to be in education.
For everyone involved.
Yes, for the administration staff and for the general public. Building that foundational literacy seems to be the absolute prerequisite for making modernization actually work.
Which leads to a bit of a provocative thought, doesn't it? If the legal framework for hiring in public institutions, certainly in Romania, as the article suggests, still heavily prioritizes, say, juridical knowledge over demonstrated IT competency,
Yeah.
then how quickly can the administration realistically modernize, even if the will is there? It raises a big question about structural priorities.
It really does. Something definitely to mull over.
Indeed.
Okay.
Well, we hope you enjoyed this deep dive. Please do like and subscribe to the Smart EDU Hub channel so you'll be the first to catch our new discussions.
And remember, you can find a direct link to the article we discussed today right there in the podcast description below.
Stay smart with Smart EDU Hub.